What's up, ladies and gentlemen? It is Kevin Jackwitz here with the Caged Review, and I just got done watching SmackDown for March the 13th, 2018, and pretty good show overall compared to what it's been lately. There were definitely still some downsides to this one and a couple of really deep downsides. We'll get into that in a minute. We start out with AJ Styles cutting his, usual promo for WrestleMania and, talking about Nakamura. Of course, Nakamura interrupts him. And, they're kind of having a back and forth about, they respect each other, they like each other. But come WrestleMania, it's going to be, a match for the title, of course, so they're going to win. Then Rusev interrupts both of them. Of course, Nakamura and Rusev just had a match at Fastlane where Nakamura won. And tonight, after a commercial break, they come back and it's Rusev and AJ Styles in a match. The match itself was pretty good. AJ Styles, of course, is truly phenomenal in the ring. And Rusev, he's just over as fuck. Like, Rusev is just over. Which is really cool. It's cool that he got himself there. And, Rusev, he's not what I would consider incredibly great in the ring. I mean, he's your typical big guy. He can do a couple of pretty cool moves. As far as kind of like flying around for a big guy his size. But, I mean, he's pretty standard big guy, which is just not really my thing. I like seeing the more athletic, agile kind of guys. It can pull off a lot of acrobatic style moves. And, but, I mean, the opening match, it was pretty good for an opening match. And AJ really set a good tone for the night, I think. Unfortunately, the match ends with Aiden English realizing that AJ's just got the upper hand. So he's going to interfere in the match, get the disqualification. And then it goes to Aiden English and Rusev just starting a beat down on AJ Styles. Nakamura comes in, takes care of Aiden English, Kinshasa on Rusev. And so it was kind of a cool thing where they're setting up, okay, these two really do have respect for each other. They really do like each other. Nakamura's not going to let AJ just get beat down like that. He wants him healthy for the match at WrestleMania. And they have this kind of like eye contact while AJ's in the corner kind of recovering from the beatdown. So it was a pretty cool opening segment all the way around with the first match and kind of establishing, that they're both two faces going after each other. I liked it. I did. And then from there, you have a backstage promo before you cut to break with Big E. And, he's talking about what the Bludgeon Brothers, Harper and Rowan, did to the Usos and New Day at Fastlane. Of course, the Bludgeon Brothers just demolished both teams. And then you get, excuse me, I'm up forever, I swear, I'm always tired now. But, you get Jimmy Uso come up to Big E and say, yo, I want to get some revenge on the Bludgeon Brothers for what they did. So let's go ahead and take care of business tonight. We'll set our differences aside and we'll handle our business. So Big E's like, all right, let's give him this work. So that sets up for Jimmy Uso and Big E versus the Bludgeon Brothers. Before you get to that, there's another backstage bit with AJ Styles and Nakamura where, AJ Styles is saying thank you and kind of where Shinsuke is saying, okay, yeah, I saved you and I'll keep saving you until WrestleMania. And so, again, it's kind of establishing that. It was kind of a decent segment. It was short. Nothing to write home about, but kind of cool, setting the stage, so that's good. And then you go to Jimmy Uso and Big E versus the Bludgeon Brothers. And it starts out very hot and heavy. The Bludgeon Brothers are coming down. Us and Big E, they run out of the ring to meet the Bludgeon Brothers. looks like they're going to start really whooping down on the Bludgeon Brothers. Excuse me. And what happens is Usos and Big E, they run to go grab chairs from the other side of the arena, opposite side of the ring area. They get in the ring with the chairs. The Bludgeon Brothers come in with the hammers. Bludgeon Brothers knocks the chairs away from each with the hammers. And then it cuts to break. And when you come back, we're ready for the match. Which starts out Big E real fast and furious, heavy hitting, a lot of shoulders in the corner and stuff like that. Good match, good pacing, really good pacing. And I gotta say, I've always liked Harper. I think that guy, I mean, for his size, he can really move. And they're just very entertaining to watch. Those two together, Harper and Rowan, I think are really good. So they kept the pace with Jimmy Uso. They kept the pace with Big E. There were a lot of really cool spots in this match. And when Jimmy Uso gets tagged in, he's all fired up and just going to town and, you know, having the match that only the Usos can, because they're very, very good at putting on a fast-paced, frenetic match. And it worked. But when it was time to make the Bludgeon Brothers look boss, they absolutely did. And you really believe that these two are a destructive force. I've been saying I hate how they've been trying to build these guys up with all these local nobodies, but they finally hit the nail on the head at Fastlane. And now it's like, okay, now these guys seem legit, you know. So I was really happy to see that, and I was really happy to see today, because they made the Bludgeon Brothers look tough. They came away with a win, and you know, it looks like there's, I mean, you would have to think that there has to be something with them heading towards WrestleMania now. It's just a very solid build at the beginning here, and it's in its early stages, and anything in its infancy, WWE can screw up in a heartbeat. But it looks like they're starting the right way with these guys, and I really like that. After that, you get a backstage bit with Sami Zayn crying about how Shane McMahon stole his title from him. If Shane McMahon didn't interfere, Sami Zayn would be the champion right now. Excuse me. So tired. I've been recording all day. So, you know, it was a good promo. Like I said, I think Sami Zayn is getting better at promos. He's not great, but he is good now. I will say he is good for sure. I used to not think he was good at all. So, definitely improving on his mic skills. And, you know, he starts talking about how I blame Kevin Owens too, because Kevin Owens and Shane McMahon have just been solely focused on Kevin Owens. So, good promo. After that, you have a Charlotte Flair Asuka promo. And you know, one thing I've said before, and I'm going to say again, is I'm really afraid of Asuka not being able to connect with people. And when she cuts a promo, it's difficult. Like, you want to root for her, you want to be like, yeah, Asuka. But when she starts talking, it feels very forced. And I'm assuming that's because she's learning the language. And, you know, I mean, it's got to be hard. And you got to give her credit where it's due. She's learning, she's picking it up, and it's got to be a struggle. Flair did carry most of this promo, which she always does great. She's very good. She's really followed in her father's footsteps, and I'm not comparing the two, because she's definitely come into her own as her own person, her own character. She is amazing in the ring. She's good on a mic. You know, you just have to give it to her. You have to give it to her. The woman has absolutely made her own way. So it was a good promo, and it kind of left off really weird and awkwardly, because Asuka, you know, she says, I bow down to no one, I like you, I respect you, you know, you're the best. but no one's ready for Asuka, and that's where it cuts off. And while those two are still staring in the ring, Randy Orton's music hits. So I think the timing on that was just kind of off, and they, should have tightened it up a little bit better than that. They cut to commercial. You get a Randy Orton promo talking about how he's finally part of the Grand Slam champions, a very short, finite list where he's very proud to be recognized as a Grand Slam champion, which I kind of agree. I mean, why not have every title in the company and really stake your claim as one of the all-time greats as many times as he's been world champion. It really rounds out the upper echelon, which Randy Orton is definitely a part of now. Bobby Roode comes out, says, I still have my rematch clause, which I am going to implement at WrestleMania. So it looks like it's going to be Randy Orton versus Bobby Roode for the U.S. title at WrestleMania, which is cool. I mean, I thought they had a good match at Fastlane, and I'm sure they'll both be a good match at WrestleMania. So absolutely no hate there whatsoever. Then Jinder interrupts both of them, does his tired shtick, and then the match becomes Mahal versus Rude. Mahal beat Randy Orton, I think it was last week or the week before. The match with Jinder Mahal was pretty aggressive, actually. I give Jinder a little bit more credit for this match than a lot of them I've seen with him lately. Pretty aggressive, pretty fast-paced at times. Ends up with whichever Singh brother he has interferes and causes a distraction. Jinder Mahal hits the claws. Jinder Mahal wins. So it may be a triple threat at WrestleMania. I'm really hoping not, because they already have a triple threat for the Intercontinental title. And I think Jinder would not add anything to Rude and Orton. I think that would be a very good one-on-one matchup. I really do. So I'm really hoping that they don't add Jinder to the WrestleMania card like that. I really think that it would lessen the match. Like, it really would. If you have Randy Orton and Bobby Roode going at it, good match. I think it would be decent throughout. But if you had the triple threat, one of those guys eventually is going to be on the ground, and then you have Jinder versus whoever it is, and that would just take it downhill. My thoughts. Then they do another spot for the fabulous Moolah Memorial Battle Royal. And I found it very interesting that apparently there's a lot of backlash over this fabulous Moolah Memorial Battle Royal, and apparently there's some pretty sketchy character traits about Moolah that most people don't know, apparently. I did not know, but I mean, there was talk of like human trafficking and all kind of dirty shit that Moolah did back in the day. So I don't know, I mean, if that's true, then yeah, I wouldn't name a battle royal after her. I don't give a damn what her accomplishments are. That's like Chris Benoit murdering his wife and his son and then being put into the Hall of Fame. Well, they've already said that there's just no way that's going to happen because of what he did. And if Moolah is like as nasty a person as they're saying, then no, I wouldn't want anything named after her either. And I wouldn't understand why WWE would put anything with her name on it like that. There's so many other trend-setting, trail-blazing women in WWE that I don't know that picking somebody that controversial would be the right choice. So that's what I have to say about that. Next comes the absolute worst part of the night, bar none. Garbage, garbage, garbage. I have said for so long what I think of Carmela in the ring. She can do decent promos. I like her on a mic at times, but I hate her in-ring work 100%. In this match, I paid attention to it specifically because I wanted to be honest about how I felt about the match, if she did good or whatever. Garbage. Grabbing hair, throwing by the hair, standing on the hair and pulling her up, and let's not forget grabbing her hair and doing the whole rubbing the head thing in the mat. Every stereotypical diva-esque thing that she could do because she can't wrestle. She just can't wrestle. She can't make a good match. The fact that she has the Money in the Bank contract makes me somewhat ill. I swear to God, if they give her the belt, I might just stop watching. Like, I feel that passionately about it. I'm sure it won't affect them or her or anybody else for that matter, but I just, at that point, I'm like, you guys have fucking lost all touch. She's just garbage. She cannot wrestle, and this match proved it. It was so just unbearable to watch. And then Carmela won most of that match. It was a pretty short match. And when Naomi finally got some steam, it was very short-lived. And then, you know, Naomi gets caught in the ropes. Carmela grabs her by the hair, slams her head onto the mat, pins her. Yeah, because Carmela deserves to be pinning the most talented woman maybe in the whole women's division. It just makes me sick, honestly. Like, there's no genuine heat. I just don't like her. It's not genuine heat. She's not getting heel heat. It's not like she's making a great character and I can't stand the character. No, I can't stand her in the ring, period. She's garbage. So, yeah, man, I just, it literally is like making me nuts that I have to watch this girl every fucking Tuesday get over on women that are far more talented than she is. She does not deserve her spot at all at this point. That's how I feel. So, enough of that rant. We come to the last segment of the show, which is Shane McMahon makes a couple of announcements. One announcement is that he is stepping down as commissioner for SmackDown Live. The other announcement is that Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn are going to have a one-on-one match at WrestleMania. And they're both coming out. They both thank McMahon for the match, but they say, you know, we're glad you're leaving because, you know, you've had it out against us. And then they both jump McMahon and do a pretty serious beatdown on Shane McMahon. There were a couple of really, really hard-hitting spots here. One where they took a chair, wrapped it around his head, slammed the chair into the pole, the ring pole. There was another spot where they're dragging him up the ramp, dragging him outside the building. And then there's this like metal bracket thing. I don't know what it was. But they picked Shane McMahon up and powerbomb him onto this metal rack. And it just looked painful. It looked stiff. And McMahon's making some really just ugly noises afterwards. And, you know. And that was how they ended the show. So it's going to be really interesting to see what Daniel Bryan does coming back, because Owens and Zayn during this beatdown, they were hitting referees and throwing them out of the ring and stuff like that. So, yeah, I mean, so Shane McMahon's supposed to be taking, quote, an indefinite leave of absence. And we'll see what happens with this storyline. I would like to think that they're actually just building this up to Shane McMahon having a match at WrestleMania against one of these guys. But you never know. You just never know. So, I mean, overall, the show wasn't terrible. There were a couple parts I really couldn't stand. I think because I have so much disdain for Jinder Mahal's in-ring ability and Carmela's in-ring ability, that every time I see them, I just cringe. I just do. I'm sick of seeing him on TV. Jinder, he's not great at promo work. He's not great in the ring. Carmela, while decent at promo work, is complete garbage in the ring. So it's like, what do you do? I mean, I'm sorry, but you have a few people on SmackDown that I would still have in NXT. Baron Corbin, Jinder, Carmela. I don't think any of those three are any good in the ring at all, really. And I do feel like they really hurt the SmackDown product. You know, you've got guys like Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, AJ Styles. Like, they're carrying the show. Like, there's probably 5 guys to carry this show. Maybe 7. Because I'm thinking about the Usos and the New Day. I'm not feeling it with those wrestlers. And the fact that Carmela is getting so over right now and getting this push, I'm sorry, I don't like it. She has to get better in the ring first. Just has to. Like I said, she puts yeah, exactly, the Divas division. She puts the women's division back 10 years. I have no love for seeing Carmela on TV in a match, going over on Becky Lynch, going over on Naomi. Are you fucking kidding me? Yeah, not a fan. Anyway, so if you guys saw SmackDown, let me know what you thought. Especially let me know what you thought about that match with Naomi and Carmela. Like, if you watched it, like, was that not just pointless? I mean, just nothing but hair pulling the whole match. Literally. Nothing good about it. Yeah, give me some feedback. Let me know what you guys think. I know sometimes I could be hard on some people, but I think in this case, it's deserved. So anyway, if you like the review, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe, and share. And actually, I haven't even created the show yet. I mean, because of a couple segments, I would give it maybe a 6 out of 10. Because there were some good stuff, you know, with AJ Styles, Nakamura. The last bit was pretty good. You know, the Uso Biggie versus Bludgeon Brothers match was a good setup. So it did have some good points to it. But because they keep giving us the suckage that is Carmela and Jinder, it's failing. In my eyes, it is just not nearly as good as it could be. So, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Kevin Jackwitz. This is the Cage Review. Cage Nation out.